Just moments ago, a touching scene emerged that left ARMY speechless once again following BTS World Tour, Arirang, at Rogers Stadium in Toronto, Canada. Behind the dazzling stage lights and the cheers of thousands of fans, Jimin was said to have continued pushing through the discomfort he was feeling until the concert came to an end. The moment became even more emotional because, during the performance, Jungkook's attention appeared to turn toward Jimin several times, as if making sure his fellow member was doing okay. Welcome to Jimin Gallery, the home for Park Jimin fans who want to discover all the latest news, interesting facts, and stories behind the world's spotlight on Jimin. From the beginning of the performance, Jimin continued to give his maximum energy on stage. His smile and professionalism made it difficult for many audience members to realize that he was allegedly struggling to endure pain. For Jimin, having ARMY in front of him seemed to be a strong reason to keep going and finish the show. He chose to continue performing, seemingly unwilling to let his worries change a night that fans had been waiting so long to experience. However, behind his captivating performance, Jungkook's attention was said to never truly leave Jimin. At several moments, Jungkook appeared quick to notice Jimin's movements and condition. Those small gestures became some of the most touching moments for fans because the concern appeared spontaneous and genuine. Without needing many words, it was as if there was an unspoken message. While Jimin was trying to appear strong in front of ARMY, Jungkook was there to make sure he was not alone. The situation became even more dramatic when Jimin's condition was said to have drawn attention after the concert ended. The pain he had allegedly been holding back seemed to have finally left his body exhausted. If he was still able to smile and deliver his best performance on stage, the atmosphere after the show reportedly felt completely different. The moment made many ARMY realize just how much effort an idol may put into remaining professional even when their body is not in its best condition. Jungkook once again became the center of attention because of how attentive he was toward Jimin. The concern he showed after the performance touched fans, especially since Jungkook had also appeared to be monitoring Jimin's condition while they were on stage. For ARMY, such simple gestures felt far more meaningful than long speeches. Amid the chaos and excitement of the concert, there was someone who continued to pay attention while Jimin was trying to hide his pain. Even so, the exact reason Jimin became unwell after the concert, as well as his medical condition, should not be concluded based solely on video clips or fan interpretations. Until there is an official statement, any speculation about what Jimin was actually experiencing should be treated only as speculation. What is clear is that he continued trying to give ARMY his best performance, while Jungkook's reaction to his condition became one of the moments that received the most attention. In the end, the Toronto concert left behind a story that was far more emotional than simply a stage performance. Jimin's effort to push through for ARMY and Jungkook's apparent attentiveness toward him created a small moment that left a deep impression. For fans, that night served as a reminder that behind the stage lights, choreography, and roar of the stadium, the members also have physical limits that need to be respected. And when Jimin finally no longer had a smile in front of thousands of people, the care and attention from those around him became what mattered most. On stage, Jimin seemed to successfully hide everything behind the smile he continued to give ARMY. His energetic gaze, movements that remained in sync with the choreography, and the way he greeted the audience made the concert feel perfect. Yet that was precisely why many fans felt even more emotional upon hearing that Jimin was reportedly not in completely perfect physical condition. He continued performing as though there was nothing to worry about, as if the discomfort had to be kept hidden until the stage lights finally went out. For Jimin, the night in Toronto was more than just a performance. Thousands of ARMY had come with the hope of seeing him in person, and Jimin appeared determined to return all that love by giving them the best energy he had. Even when his body was allegedly beginning to show signs of exhaustion, he continued smiling and completed his performance. No one can know exactly how severe the discomfort he was experiencing truly was without an official statement, but the contrast between Jimin's energetic performance and his condition after the concert made many fans feel even more emotional. Then, as the stage lights began to fade and the voices of thousands of ARMY slowly disappeared into the distance, another side of Jimin seemed to emerge. If he had previously stood tall in the middle of the stage with a bright smile, after the performance, he was said to appear much more exhausted. That change in atmosphere was what made the moment feel so heartbreaking. ARMY who witnessed it were naturally left wondering, how long had Jimin actually been enduring the discomfort before he was finally able to rest? Amid the situation, Jungkook's attentiveness toward Jimin became even more heartwarming for fans. Small gestures and moments of concern during and after the performance can feel incredibly meaningful when someone is exhausted. There is no need for grand actions or dramatic words. Sometimes, simply staying close to someone, paying attention to their condition, or making sure they are okay is enough to bring a sense of comfort. For fans who enjoy the close bond between Jimin and Jungkook, moments this simple are certainly difficult to forget. Ultimately, what touched ARMY the most was not simply the news that Jimin appeared exhausted, but the fact that he continued trying to give his best smile to the people who had come to support him. He chose to finish the night by giving ARMY a memory to cherish, while the people around him could offer support once the stage had finally come to an end. And perhaps that is what made the Toronto night so emotional. Jimin does not always have to be the person who appears strong. Sometimes, he also deserves care, protection, and time to rest after giving so much to his fans. Amid the thunderous roar of Rogers Stadium, the voices of thousands of ARMY seemed endless. Light sticks illuminated the stands, while cheers echoed throughout the venue every time Jimin appeared at the center of the stage. Under the bright spotlight, Jimin continued to smile and give warm looks to the fans. From a distance, everything looked perfect, a beloved idol enjoying a major night with the people who had been waiting to see him. However, behind all the excitement, it was a small gesture that caught fans' attention and drew their eyes toward Jungkook. Several times, Jungkook appeared to pay attention to Jimin's condition, seemingly making sure his fellow member was doing okay amid the demanding series of performances. There was no statement confirming that Jungkook knew exactly what Jimin was feeling, but that small display of concern was enough to touch many ARMY. Among thousands of eyes focused on the stage, there was one gaze that felt particularly meaningful to fans. The atmosphere became even more emotional as the concert finally approached its conclusion. ARMY's cheers could still be heard, the stage lights remained on, and the members continued trying to give their best smiles. Jimin also appeared to keep interacting with the audience, as though he wanted to preserve every second of that night as a cherished memory. Yet for ARMY, who later noticed his condition after the performance, that smile seemed to carry a much deeper meaning. When the music stopped and the stadium lights gradually changed, the atmosphere that had previously been so lively began to grow quieter. There were no longer the same camera spotlights, nor the pressure to keep performing perfectly in front of tens of thousands of people. It was at that point that Jimin's exhaustion became the aspect that worried fans the most. The contrast felt heartbreaking. Only moments earlier, had still been standing in front of ARMY with a smile, while after everything ended, his body was reportedly visibly more exhausted. And for ARMY, perhaps that is why Jungkook's small gestures felt even more meaningful. When someone has given all their energy on stage, a simple expression of concern from the person beside them can mean so much. Jimin may not have needed additional attention or grand words. Perhaps all he needed was someone who noticed him, and made sure he did not have to face a difficult moment alone. Without drawing conclusions about their personal relationship, the moment can still be seen as a warm example of care between two people who have shared so many stages together. What initially looked like an ordinary smile began to feel different once fans turned their attention toward Jimin's condition. Every smile he gave ARMY seemed to carry a story that could not be seen from afar. No one can determine how much discomfort he was actually experiencing without an official statement, but that uncertainty is precisely what made fans even more concerned. All they could do was hope that behind his smile and professionalism that night, Jimin would have enough time to rest and recover. Meanwhile, Jungkook's concern did not have to involve a grand gesture to feel meaningful. Sometimes, just a brief glance, a step closer, or a small movement to check on Jimin was enough to touch ARMY. Such simple gestures might seem insignificant to others, but to fans who pay attention to every detail of their interactions, those moments can feel incredibly warm. Without making assumptions about their personal relationship, that small display of concern can simply be viewed as an example of care and mutual support between two longtime stage partners. For ARMY, seeing Jimin continue to smile while he was allegedly not in the best physical condition naturally felt heartbreaking. They came to support him, sing along, and watch Jimin enjoy the stage, but at the same time, many fans may have felt the urge to tell him that he did not have to push himself just to make everyone else happy. Jimin's smile might have lasted only a few seconds in front of the camera, but for fans watching his every movement, that smile could feel incredibly precious while also raising concern. In the end, loving Jimin should not simply mean feeling sorry for him. ARMY certainly wants to see him continue smiling, but what matters far more is seeing him healthy and able to rest whenever his body needs it. Jimin does not always have to appear strong, does not always have to hide his exhaustion, and should never feel guilty for putting himself first when necessary. Likewise, Jungkook's small gestures can be remembered as warm moments showing that care sometimes exists without many words. Because behind the dazzling stage lights and the cheers of tens of thousands of ARMY, Jimin's health and well-being will always be far more valuable than a single night of performance.